true. I am a dumb person, and my brother is 2 years older than me, but I was born in January and he was born in February. And then, like, for the long, like, way longer than it should have taken me, I was like, how can you be older than me? I was born because I'd have a birthday and I'd be like, I would turn, I don't know, 6. And he's like, I'm turning 8. I'm like, how is this possible?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yes, I was like, I'm gonna catch you. And it's like, no, Josh, that's not how. I didn't, could not figure it out. Also, we'll just say welcome to the Hoochie Daddy podcast. By the way, I have to issue an apology to all of our listeners because I think in the last episode we talked about Hoodie Daddy season, and it is no longer Hoodie Daddy season. I'm
It's
just going to
not.
take
It's just not
so
happening this
we're
year.
just going to take that away from him immediately. I got super excited, and now you're obviously rocking the amazing sleeveless, and that's what you should
Yes.
wear because it's just so hot. It's like 69
Yeah,
degrees.
just yeah. Global
It's nice,
warming
but
has officially done away with hoodie daddy season. There is no more.
is there anything the Dems just won't let us have? You know, controlling the weather, global warming is no. They like the global warming. They think
I
the
think
other side's like, no,
MAGA
it's not real.
contributes to the global warming with the big trucks.
Well, that's true. The big trucks, yes, and just all the diesel and all that stuff. But yes,
It's Obama's fault.
what is Obama's fault? That's what I'm learning. That it's actually just all anything bad that is happening now is not the president's fault now. It's the previous, but not like it took a break, I guess, like because
Like
Obama was just
five
all bad.
previousses.
Yes, 5 previous's because Obama was all bad, but then Trump was president, and then things were good, but then Biden took over and then made it shitty again. So that's what I'm learning is that in the middle, he's he's the one doing all the good, and they just kind of keep ruining all the things.
Yes. Yeah, that's
That
right.
makes sense. That makes sense. I don't see any problem with that at all. Okay, so I got to ask you a question. Okay, so what we okay, so here's what I've been noticing on the TikToks all the time. I love this trend. It's like, all right, what are some like or like they're like, oh, like these are like three sexual things that like I find or that they're not sexual. That's the thing. They're not sexual, but you find them attractive. And I'm like, I
Yes.
always tell Rachel this all the time. Like she will like do all this stuff. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you should stop doing that. That's attractive. And she's like, I'm literally just like whatever, eating cereal, like whatever, insert whatever. So I was like, okay, here's one off the bat she did last night. I told her, like she was, like Andrew had he had the chorus thing. He had a band recital for his clarinet. So he
Yep.
had a band recital. So she wore this like nice sweater and like she got home and was doing work and like was stretching and like there's just like a little bit like the sweater like you could just see like a little bit of like skin like it was like a crop top but it wasn't a crop top just because like she lifted her hands like just a little bit and I was like that's super hot. What are you doing? You should stop doing that.
Hmm.
I'm just trying to like put the children to bed. Like what are you doing? So yeah, just like little things like that. It's like that's not and she says it's like so it's like we'll call each other like girl shut up, but like she'll say that to me and I'm obviously not a girl, but like it's interchangeable, boy, girl, whatever we call
I
each
like
other that.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And it's just like the way she's like girl, like it's I'm like it's just little things like that. It shouldn't be it shouldn't be attractive, but it is. And anything she does is attractive because she's amazing. But yeah, it's just like little things like that. I'm like, God, that's good. So then I have been watching these videos because they're all over my feed, and they're like, oh, so like I try to emulate what other. They're like, oh yeah, like when a guy turns his hat backwards, that's hot. So like I'll try that. I'm like, all right, let's try that. And then like sometimes it gets
Hannah
ever.
really likes that.
Yeah, I try to do that, and then sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But so I need to find out what her things are and just covertly do them without her knowing and make her like
Yes.
me more, I think. So you just try to I think the key to marriage is just tricking your wife into liking you until she does. I think that's the key.
You know what would work
What would
is you
work?
need to find the females doing that trend
Mm-hmm.
and then actually look in comments and see if your wife has
Oh my
commented
God. I'm so glad
stuff that she likes.
that you brought this up. I I swear to you, I comment on our videos because I'm trying to boost up those numbers. Got to boost those numbers organically. I
Yeah,
comment, then other people comment. It's just a waterfall effect. Other than that, I don't. I will comment on Hannah's videos sometimes, like, "Oh, Hannah, like that is a great picture, by the way. Great picture behind you. The lovely Hannah painted that wonderful Santa Claus picture. So shout out.
she did.
Um,
She's been working on that. Looks it's coming along great.
so good. But yeah, I don't read the comments, and you're like, you. So yeah, here's what I do. I open up TikTok. I read your, or I look
Mhm.
at your stuff for, or I try to look at your stuff first. Sometimes I'll scroll. I'm like, God, that's good. But then I have to go back and look and see if you send it to me because I don't want to resend the same thing because that's embarrassing. So embarrassing. I do that all the
It
time.
is. That's a tough look.
That's a tough look. It's like, yeah, I didn't look at your stuff. I immediately went to my
I
own
am
feed.
kind of glad. Sometimes I'm glad that you don't look at the comments
Yes.
because sometimes I'll write a comment like to you in our little chat, and it'll be the same one that I actually commented on the video. And I'm like, I'm gonna be so embarrassed if he sees that I recycled this joke.
I did not. I didn't know that you did that, but now I'm just gonna have to look at all these comments because okay, you were like, no, the comment section is like weird, and I do like seeing those videos that are like, here's like it'll be some terrible video, and they're like, I'm like, when you send me that, it's like, all right, I know it's gonna be like, oh, here's all the comments to the like making fun of the video or making fun of whatever the person did in the video. It's like, God, that's so good. Like that's funnier than the video, and I know that exists, and I never look at it. So I need to
No,
start
see,
doing
there's a happy medium because like the first comments are always like really good,
that. Okay.
but Hannah takes it too far with hers and she reads just hundreds, just every single comment. And I'm like, once you get to the bottom here, like these people are
Right.
not smart. These are bad
Right.
comments.
So, okay, when you
But
said
she just keeps reading them, and I'm like, no, you need to read 8 or 9 comments that are going
just
to
a
be
couple,
hilarious.
right. And then just
I
end it
also
after
like
that.
to read them on posts that are like religious posts.
Yes.
And so, like, there was one the other day where this this girl posted something that was like trying to be accepting of myself as like a gay Christian.
Hmm.
I was like, oh my God, like that was super brave.
Right. Yeah.
And so I went to the comments and they're all like, actually, you can't do both and you're going to hell and God hates that. And so I did get in a little TikTok comment fight with
See,
somebody on
I
there.
wanted to bring this up because I don't know. So yes, this is the tick. Okay, so like, so a TikTok fight is basically like they comment, you or like one person comments, and you're like, hey, actually, like this or that because that's dumb, and they're like,
Yeah.
no, and then they just comment a bunch of times.
Yeah, we just commented back and forth. I feel terrible for the girl that posted it because she got 7,000 notifications of just me and this guy going back and forth in her comments. But
Love that.
yeah, she posted that and then she was like trying to like love myself, being a gay Christian and accepting myself. And then his comment was like something like, so I strongly want to cheat on my wife.
Oh,
Like, and it's a urge that I have all the time, and I just really want to cheat on my wife, but I have to fight that urge. It's,
that's
so you need to fight this. And I was like, okay, well, that's lust. So
that.
Jesus says that you've already committed adultery in your heart.
Yep.
And also in the Old Testament, like it says that you can have multiple partners. So you actually just have to pay some young girl's father the bride price, and then you can have sex with his young daughter. So I guess go for it.
Right.
And then we just got into a whole big thing. We argued for a couple hours on this girl's TikTok.
So who was the victor? I guess did both sides like, yeah, I won that fight, or like did he cave and like, yeah,
Um,
like you're totally right.
I think I won. He stopped commenting. But his last thing was like he stopped trying to make points and he just did a little preaching segment where he was like,
Nice.
well, the Bible says the same thing all the way through, and it's the consistent word of
Yep,
God,
for sure.
and everything it says is true, and it never contradicts with itself, and it says that being gay is terrible.
Yes.
And like I've been making points that no, biblical writers didn't understand sexuality the way that we do today, and how the mind works, and how gender and sexuality work, and they didn't have that information. And he was like, well, God had that information, and he still said this, and the Bible doesn't contradict. And so I pointed out a couple of places where it does, and he was
Yep.
like, God never changes his mind. And I was like, because I
He.
pointed out a genocide verse, and I was like,
Hmm.
we think as a society, mostly, hopefully, that genocide is terrible. But so do you think God changed his mind about it, or do you think God still thinks genocide is cool, or
Hmm.
maybe the Bible just got something wrong?
Right.
And then he said something about how it was an ordained marriage by God to
Hmm.
take some young girl from a conquest and make her your wife. And I was like, I'm shocked that you're saying it's some God ordained marriage to take some young girl and let her mourn for a month at her family's slaughter and then have sex with her and then set her free if she doesn't satisfy you.
It's and like okay, it's like it's shit like that that it's like okay, this is in the book, and like if they're like if they say that God is never changing, like he's all knowing, like now like nowadays that would be like, oh, that's real bad. And like if it's bad
Yeah,
now, then it should be bad then. And like it's a real big role reversal to be like, yeah, like all this is like totally fine and like doesn't break any law, like you're doing my like,
yeah,
and now it's like, oh, well, like, times were different back then. And like, it's and to go along with that, you said that were like it like he's like, oh, I've want to cheat on my wife, so like you're like, hey, you've kind of already committed adultery because like if you think it in your
yeah,
mind, then like, and I never understood that because they said like if you hate someone, then you've committed murder, and that just doesn't pass in like today's legal environment like at all. Like you can hate I mean you shouldn't hate anybody because that's wrong. It's not good to hate any kind of person for anything. And they are like, yeah, that's the same as murder. You've committed just so many murders. And it's like, no,
yeah,
I there's a big difference between me getting mad at
yeah.
somebody and
No,
then
they're
like,
still alive.
yeah, they're still alive, and like I got mad at them for whatever and then forgot about it in like 10 minutes and like didn't go to jail for the rest of my life. Like things are, it's very different. And like that's not true. That's just simply not true. You should definitely hate them in your mind for like 10 minutes and then forget about them forever. Don't actually unalive them.
Yeah, no, and he did this thing where he said like, he was talking about it being consistent all the way through, and one of my points was like, well, no, because it says in a couple of places that God never changes his mind, and then in other places it says that he does. And then he quoted a verse that was like, God is not a human that he would change his mind
Hmm.
or that he would lie. And I was like, yeah, I
Yeah.
just said
I,
that. But
yep.
it also says in Jonah that God saw that the people of Nineveh had repented and he changed his mind and didn't do the thing he said he was going to do.
Right. Yes. It, and I think that's honestly where I think I don't remember what specifically it was, but hearing something like that, saying like, because growing up for 30 plus years of like, hey, the Bible is the one true, like spoken word.
Hmm.
There's no fallacy, not one, not any. And then like it was something like I came across or whatever, and it was like a very clear contradiction like that, like what you're saying. It's like, oh, well, this is clearly like I don't know, like it's just a contradiction. Like I don't know what that means. And it's like, wait, if like this one thing is clearly wrong or contradicting itself,
Hmm.
then it's like that changes everything. If like there's one, even if there was like like if the rest was perfect and there's like one very clear like omission or contradiction, then it's like, well, then the whole claim is off base, the whole claim. And that's
Yeah.
the hard, like I was like, oh, well, like that's if one thing like it, then it's all like then it's all kind of up for grabs at that point.
Yeah. And like there are people that like any contradiction you present, they're going to try and
Right.
argue the
There's
way and make up some stuff. And it's like, yes, you can try and reconcile things if you want. And like, oh no, this person just left this out. And no, this was just a different point of view. And like, no, both things can be true at the same time. But at some point, I think, logically just have to recognize that if you're having to take the least likely scenario for
mhm,
all of these different contradictions in the Bible, like it's just not really that likely that all of the least likely scenarios are all the right one.
correct. Yes. Was it like is it like Malcolm's razor? Something that's like the most likely thing to be true is like the most likely thing. Like whatever like the most like it's not going to be like oh this is 0.1% chance of like a million different things. Like no, it's like the most likely
Yes.
explanation is like no, like it was just a bunch of people and it was written way later and like they added stuff that they wanted
Hmm.
to add and they kind of controlled what was in the book and like no we're not going to admit that because it doesn't really fit the narrative like that is the
Yeah.
more likely scenario like by leaps and bounds and
Yeah,
like oh
because like the chances get like exponentially worse that it's all true when you keep taking the least likely thing.
yes correct and like one of the thing it was like such a good point I never like but like someone on TikTok that was like Paul's Paul literally wrote like all these letters to these churches. And like if the Bible is like the divine word of God, like you think he'd be like, hey, in this like he's like, God is literally telling me to write these exact words, like God himself. And
Hmm.
it's just like, no, it's just a letter from one dude to another, just about some stuff. Like that's all that it is.
Yeah.
It's not it just kind of fit that narrative and like it's crazy because like yeah if the god of the universe is like hey write this letter and I'm going to tell you every word to write because that's what the bible is he's that he never says that and I think that would like come up in like the first like if I heard from god I'd be like Nick these are the exact words like you won't believe I heard it like here's every word and he's just like can you believe what's going on at so and so church that's crazy like that's all it is and like it's I was like, yeah, that's a really good point.
And his thought process changes over time, like through his letters, like as you go later into his life, because early on, his belief is like Jesus is coming back like anytime. It could be any
Hmm.
minute now. He's like, if you're not married, don't get married, don't have children. We don't have time for you to be raising up your children because Jesus is coming back.
Hmm.
And then later in his life, he's like, oh, maybe he's not gonna make it, but after I die, I'll still be with him in
Right.
paradise. But he'll come back soon after that though. It won't be long.
Yeah, not gonna be long now. Any minute. The moment is nigh. No, yeah, it's just yeah, that's another thing about like I used like I had it's I think me and Rachel talk about this all the time, but it's like it's crazy just how like deep I was in it and like how much I like it was just like a part. I guess before you start, oh, no, that's what I was gonna say is okay. So like when you started like questioning things when you actually like read it from like cover to cover. Like, okay, like you're
Yeah.
like, I need to dive in, I need to learn some stuff. And it's like, oh, some of this stuff doesn't really make sense. And then that led to other questions. So like these people that go to like Bible colleges and seminary and all this stuff, like they're no learning it better than I'm obviously it's through a film or like a lens of like a funnel of kind of like what that school wants you to know kind of thing. They're not going to be like, hey, like some of this stuff doesn't
Mhm.
make sense or whatever. But like it's crazy. Like the more they learn, they don't question it. I guess the people that are like higher up in churches and pastors and whoever like it's do they do you think that they know it's kind of like a scam or they just kind of are too far in it? Like what I think that's something that
Um,
I've started to question.
there is a guy that I follow on YouTube. His name is CJ Cornthwaite,
Okay.
I think is his name. Sorry if I'm saying that
Well
wrong.
said. I mean, I think
But he is, or he used to be a pastor and like went to seminary and felt like he was called to be a pastor. And he said he became atheist for a while after seminary. And he said it's actually pretty common that if, like, there are some seminaries that teach you basically to be an apologist, but
mhm,
he said it's pretty common for people to go to seminary and be like, oh, I didn't know any of this.
mhm,
And a lot of people become atheists at seminary and stop wanting to be pastors. And then some of them are just like, oh, okay, I'm still like Christian, but maybe I don't have to take every word of the Bible literally now.
mhm.
And then some of them are just like, yeah, this is wrong, but this is what I know to do. And I've planned my life around being a pastor. So we're just
Just gonna
going
roll.
to kind
Yeah,
of do that now.
yeah. Just gonna roll with it. Just make the best of it. Yeah. No, I get that, and I also you had kind of mentioned like Paul like later in his life and stuff, and I know like I think he was martyred somehow for his for his belief for being a Christian or whatever, and the age old adage of like why would someone die for a lie like knowing it's a lie like why would they do that like Christians say that in like
I used to say that a lot, like
yeah.
all the disciple or almost
Hmm.
all the disciples and Paul, like it's all talked about how they were all martyred. And it's like,
Hmm.
why would they do it if it was a lie?
Right, and then you have
Maybe it wasn't a lie. Maybe they were wrong.
well maybe they're like wrong or like it not like a lie but yeah like they were wrong and they were convinced it was the truth because
Yeah.
other religions do the same thing like they do the same thing and like
Hmm.
they have the same belief of like this is 100% right like
Yes.
and like other religions think of that religion as like oh well like that's you're dying for the wrong reason like that's not true like because we know that we're
Yeah.
right and they're like no you people are the ones like so it's yeah they just think I don't think they're dying for what they know is a lie it's like they are truly convinced that this is what's right and like I think
Yeah. I
almost
don't
every
think it
religion
was a
does that
lie. I think, yeah.
right and that, I
I
think
think Bart Ehrman, the New Testament scholar, his theory basically is that in that time period, they didn't think of um, like souls being different from like being out of the body.
mhm,
And so, and I think he says that something like 1 in 8 people have reported seeing like a loved one after they passed away. And the way that we see it now is just that, oh, their like spirit has come to visit
mhm,
or something, but they wouldn't have thought of it that way anciently. And so he said if 1 or 2 of the disciples, which would make sense if you do 1 out of 8, 12 disciples, chances are one of them would have seen
mhm.
a vision of Jesus again.
Yeah,
And so if Peter sees what he thinks is Jesus and says, oh, I saw Jesus, the rest of them are going to be like, shit,
yeah like
guess he's,
I guess
guess he's back.
he was right
And so they think they saw, or they think that one of them saw the risen Jesus, and
hmm
that's all they needed at that point.
yeah no I think like speaking of like yeah like just that so one thing that I've been like noticing is or there was something that was this article or something that was like Christianity is popular for a reason because it does give this like glowing if you are a Christian it gives a glowing like afterlife like heaven and like everybody like if you like everybody that's ever been a Christian is there and everybody that will be like everybody like you're all like oh yeah like all my friends are Christian my family's Christian all this stuff and it's like so like it's like okay when someone passes away because everyone dies like they it's just like okay well it's not like yes it's sad that like they're not here but like hey it, like they're like oh well 89 years old, so like I'm gonna see him in like a couple weeks. Like it's not really like this,
Hmm.
it makes it easier. But they have to do that because in like almost every other religion, like there's a reason for the afterlife, I guess. Like with the Mexican holiday of like the ofrenda, like putting up like they're like so basically what and that's like so special because like basically people set aside a time for the dead. Like, hey, every whatever day it is that they have that, like they set like they're like, hey, let's like so the death side and the like the living side know like okay on this special time at this special time of the year like you're not going to be able to like cross over or whatever but like that like you're the closest that you can be because like everybody
Yeah.
kind of like comes together and it, like it's like a healing thing but like with Christianity it's like it's there's nothing like where you kind of like honor you like where you like take the time to like honor the people that have died. It's just like, oh well, like I'm gonna see them again anyway, so like, I'll just keep living my life kind of thing, and it kind of like helps you in that moment, but like you don't really I think it just makes it easier for them because if you take that away, then, you know, there's not a way to like honor the people that have like passed on. And I think that's cool that like other
Yeah.
religions do that. And I think that's because yeah, like I think that's the one thing that's like, man, like if you take that away from or in the deconstruction process, that's probably the hardest thing. It's like, okay, well, like what is there? Like I do, but like the thing, like no one actually knows. Like no one has any idea because once you die,
Yeah.
like you're like, so it's just that's the hardest thing. Like what is like what's next? It's crazy. It's interesting to
So that's interesting because I haven't had like anybody in our life like pass away since I've started this process.
yeah.
But it's weird thinking back that like people that have died before, like there was that thought process of I'm gonna see him again
Mhm.
in heaven. And then now that I don't so much believe that, now it's like, oh,
Yeah,
that actually just was just the end and they're just not here
right.
now. So I don't know, I think it'll be weirder the next time that, you know, somebody's not here with us anymore, that it'll be like a very abrupt feeling of,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't think that I'll see them again.
Right. And like Rachel has brought up, because she's so smart, she's brought up like this thing that's like, I think she saw something that was like basically we're energy. Like everything has energy. Like humans have
Yes.
energy. And like once, like, so like energy can't be like destroyed or created. It's just like energy. So like
Hmm.
we are we're all this energy. And like once we die, like that energy like goes like it doesn't get like obviously like the person dies, but like the energy of like that person is just go I don't know where it goes. I don't think anybody obviously knows, but like it's not it just doesn't go away. It's kind of around like I don't know, like it just kind of is around. So like I don't think it's necessarily like the end. I mean, I guess it is the end, but like yeah, it's I guess it's I think what I think of it as like it's like before you were born, you didn't know that you weren't like born. You just
Right.
and then like even like when you're born, it's like we don't really know anything until you're whatever age and like until you start like having memories and stuff. So I don't know, like it's just probably this I don't know. It's it's weird to think about. That
Yeah,
is
me and Hannah
yeah.
we had a really similar talk the other night, and like I've said, that's funny that you said that Rachel said that. I've had that same thought, and I've, told Hannah that law before that, energy is not created or destroyed. It just, changes
Hmm.
what it's doing. And so like that's some way that I try and like comfort her with this because she's really been, struggling with this whole process. And so I
Hmm.
told her I don't think that we're just nothing. I think that energy just kind of goes into the universe somewhere.
Hmm.
And so I was talking to like her favorite person growing up was her grandmother. She called Nanny,
Hmm.
and her grandmother lived with their family and she passed away when Hannah was 9. And so I've told Hannah, like, your nanny's favorite place was Savannah, and Hannah gets just a real close feeling with her grandmother when we're in Savannah, and she
Hmm.
feels that. And I've
Yeah.
said, what stuff that, she loved, and she was like, she loved butterflies, she loved like leaves falling in the fall, and I'm like, and Hannah always gets a real close feeling when that kind of stuff is
Hmm.
happening. I'm like, that can, there's no reason to not believe that that could be her.
Yeah. No, for I was gonna say that like that's I think that's why people say like, oh my goodness, like I saw this bird or this butterfly or this I've heard like all
Hmm.
those things like they're like I that was my whatever. That was my sister, aunt, uncle, brother, like I just they're like, yeah, that was them. And I can't explain it and that's like oh I saw this yeah I went to this place and just felt this person that passed away and I think
Hmm.
that's probably the thing that like it's just that energy is over whatever or just or like knows I don't know I think so I think that's like comforting I think to know that like that is across like a lot of different nationalities and religions and ethnicities
Yes.
it's like hey there's something like about that like there's just this energy and you can't explain it and it's just kind of I think when it like crosses that whole when it crosses like different groups of people, I think is when it's like, okay, well, maybe there's something to this.
Yes, that's what I think is really interesting is like they've done studies on near-death experiences or people that have died and, been
Mm-hmm.
resuscitated. And if you take out the religion factor and you just go just worldwide,
Mm-hmm.
there's a similar feeling of just like calm and peace and kind of a happiness there. And that seems to be the most common,
Mm-hmm.
feeling that has
Mm-hmm.
happened in those scenarios.
Yeah.
And what I've also told him, because I don't know, I don't want to call myself like full on atheist. I think I'm
Yeah.
just more agnostic at this point. But
Right.
I think if there is God, like some proof to me that there is one, and I don't think that we can fully know him, or I think there would be a more of a consensus on who he is or she.
Yoshi.
But there's just that thought that like a lot of the like prophets and religious leaders from the world, like Muhammad and Jesus and Confucius and Buddha and all of that, they all have a lot of their teachings are similar in that, like, it's good, like, love yourself, love your neighbors, and that, like, is like inside you, is something that Jesus says the kingdom is inside you, and that kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. And so, like, if there is a God and maybe he is putting some people on this earth to spread that kind of message that just let's try and be connected with people and love ourselves, and that's important.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, it's very important to love yourself. And yes, that if that it's inside you is that's interesting that it's that again, like you said, like crossed multiple religions and stuff. And I'll say one thing. I know we're up against the clock, but I think past the offering plates, that was a great sermon. I think by both of us. I think we tag teamed that very well. And that was an incredible episode. And if you are a patron of our church gathering, then I think more than 10% goes in the offering plate with that one. I mean, that's how you pay. That's how we turn on the lights in the building. That was a great episode. Thank you, sir. You're amazing. That was incredible.
Well, thank you so much.
Well
Now, back
done.
to things that we think are attractive
No, we're
that
out
are
of
not
time.
sexual.
That's next episode. And also we're teasing another funeral thing. We'll talk about that next episode. So thank you for
Yes,
following
let's hit up the
along
funeral.
the Hoochie Daddy season.
We're
Yeah,
back.
we're back at you. We didn't leave it all. Inside joke. I'd love to be a part of one someday. Um, so yes, I'm sorry about your Cowboys jersey, but no one else will get that, but we will, and that's what makes it funny. Okay,
I'm
so
just sorry about being a Cowboys fan. It's the worst thing.
it's not the worst thing because you win games and other people don't. And so many people are like, why wasn't Raheem fired? And it's like, no one knows. I don't know.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. If not now, then when? So I did. So Rachel was gone, and I watched because I'm dumb. I'm a stupid person, and this will probably be like our clip for the YouTubes or whatever. But I'm a stupid person, and you can just leave it at that. We don't even have to like continue the conversation. They're like, well,
No,
yeah, he's
please
dumb.
explain.
No, so like I watched the entirety of the Falcons game. It's the first time I've done that like play to play because like no one was here. They were in Arkansas. I was like, all right, I'm gonna like this is gonna be great. Like I'll just sit down and watch the whole game. I don't have anything else to do. And like I was like, oh, we started. So I think we had like a 10 or 14 point lead. I'm like, yeah, like we're doing good. And then like it all just happens, and like you can see it happening. You're like, oh no, I've seen this game before. Not this one game because I don't know the future, but like I've seen everyone has seen how like
The
well they
Falcons, falconing.
they put up some stat that was like Bryce Young has won like however many games in his NFL, like I don't know, 11, 12, like not a lot. And they're like, five of his 11 wins are against the Atlanta Falcons. And like, I know they're in the same league, the same division. So like, you know, plays them twice a year. I get that. But like, that's insane. That's crazy.
That's gross.
That's gross. That's a gross thing. And so I just sat
See,
there
like
and watched
that's
the whole thing.
that's an awful that's an awful coaching job. Because
It
like
is.
the years that the years that like the Cowboys win the East,
Yes.
it's always like, yeah, they're gonna go 2-0 against Washington and 2-0 against the Giants, and then they'll
Yes.
split the Eagles, and that's how you win the division.
Yes.
The Falcons are just like, no, we'll beat a couple of random AFC teams for no reason at all,
For no reason at
and
all.
then
The
lose to the
Bills,
Panthers.
yep, lose to the Panthers twice. And one time 30-0, like not even competitive at all. And it's just like this division isn't great. Like you said, like and that's what Brady did. He's like, well, the Jets suck and the Dolphins suck. And
Yeah.
like I'm just gonna rack up these wins. I'll beat and it's like, no, we can't beat the worst teams, like let alone the good teams. But sometimes an occasional good. It's bad. It's real bad. Oh, we went to return the rental car because they like rented a car to drive out there. So we returned it, and like I didn't even realize I was wearing like a Falcon sweatshirt. And I walked into the Enterprise or whatever, and he was like, "That is so bold of you to do that like today." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a stupid person. I think that's what we'll label the body. I'm just a stupid person." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't, it doesn't even like bother me. It's just like, yeah, I that's who I am. I'm a bad person. I root for this awful team, and that's just how it is. And you know, it'll never change.
Now, see,
And
I
that's fine."
used to wear so much Cowboys stuff everywhere, but I got tired of everywhere I went,
And,
somebody wanted to have some conversation about the
yeah.
Cowboys, and I was like, I'm gonna stop just wearing
Oh
Cowboy
goodness.
stuff everywhere because I don't want to have to. It was when Romo was still the quarterback, and maybe I'm stupid, but I love Tony Romo.
Yes.
And when you watch him play, he's a good player. So,
Yes.
but people don't actually watch stuff, and they were always like, "Yeah, Romo's absolute trash." And I'm like, he's not though.
And he talks over Jim Nance.
He's not Aaron Rodgers, but he's really good at football.
Yes, he's very good at football, like extremely good. He's so good. Turn on the tape, son. It's so good. It's
Yeah,
wonderful.
if look at any statistics, watch him play games. Yes, he had a couple of bad moments.
Right.
He probably shouldn't have been the holder in Seattle because
Probably
he was the
not.
starting quarterback, and
That
who
is
the
the
fuck does that?
I don't know. Wait, isn't Gunner the
But that's
holder?
like his whole career now.
Isn't Gunner the holder for Georgia? Didn't he hold? Oh, Carson held. Carson held last year.
Yes.
That's which seems yeah. Why are we doing that? That doesn't seem prudent.
I don't I know with Romo, like the year he did it was because he took over for Bledsoe in
Hmm.
during the year,
God, Bledsoe
and it
can't
was
catch a fucking
before it was
break.
mainstream to have do what?
I said Bledsoe can't catch a fucking break.
No.
He gets hurt and he's like, "Oh, we got
No.
this. Don't worry. Like
Brady and
you'll
Romo.
come back. You'll come back a couple weeks. This guy sucks." It's like, "Oh no, they're." They're both real good. Hall of Famers.
Yeah, he gets hurt, and then, oh, sorry, we've actually got the best player of all time.
Yep.
And then he goes to Dallas, and they're like, we've got this young guy that we like. But yeah, he replaced him in the season, and it was before it was mainstream to have like your punter be the holder. And so
Yep.
it was the backup quarterback was supposed to be the holder. So Romo was doing it until he became the starter. And then Bill Parcells was like, I don't want to embarrass Drew Bledsoe by having him be the holder on field goals now. So we'll just let Tony keep doing it. And so they're preparing for playoff games. And they're like, yeah, he's got to practice playing quarterback. So he's
Yeah.
not going to do holding.
Oh no. Was that what year was that? Was that pre Legion of Boom, right? Or was that like right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
that was that
that
was
was
way
like
before.
oh
Okay.
06.
Well, now I feel. See, I'm a stupid person. It's like, yeah, that was like 15 years
You
before.
are the smartest person.
I think that I'm smart, but I'm not, and that's not smart. I'll tell you what's
That
very smart.
that threw
It
me.
is what
That was deep.
I go deep on spiritual and mental things. Okay, so you told me that you have notes, and that is very impressive because you came ready.
Yes. I came ready and then I got us on a tangent talking about arguing with that TikTok man
Well, it was really good, and
and it got us off track.
it's almost like you could split these episodes in like a part one, part two, because they're
It's
just
almost like that. It's like our
it's
Skype session ended,
that
Zoom,
definitely
whatever
didn't
we're doing.
happen. Shout out whichever one we're doing. Which, by the way, this is a thing because I asked Charlie, not Chat, my daughter Char. I was dropping her off, and I'm like the dumb dad. I was like, "This is like a thing that like kids do, right?" Because I see this on TikTok. They're like, "Good job, people! Like you are dumb," and like a little clap. I was
I
like,
didn't
"All
know
right,
that was a thing.
yes, it's a thing that like people they're like, oh, like a little tiny clap." And I was like, all right, Char, like have a good day, like woo. And she's like, don't do that. I was like, but like that's a thing that people do, right? She's like, yeah, but like you can't do it. I was like, okay. I so I felt validated knowing that it was a thing,
That's
but then
our
I
word.
was it's I can't use that. Which, by the way, the band thing that my son had he's in seventh grade, so like they had a sixth and seventh band recital. So every time he said like, "Oh, welcome
Hmm.
to the," you know, all the like, just the whole time, and all the crowd was just, and then Maddox is over there just, "Oh my God, they said six," just losing his
They're
mind.
doing the thing.
They're doing the thing. So then Grayson's like, so it's great. I know it'll like run its course, or maybe it has run its course, but the I'm loving the 6-7 trend. I am. I'm loving it so much.
I was loving it. Silas has just gone so,
He's
so
ruined it.
overboard with it. It's just there's so many 6-7s going on in our house.
Oh
And
my
he doesn't
gosh.
have siblings to do it to, so it's just to
Right.
me and
It
Hannah just
it's
all the
just
time.
yep. And that's why like I think like I know we've like it's like the four like we have four kids, you have one kid. It's like, oh, like there's a thought like, oh, like four kids is harder. And like, yeah, there's like more kids, but like just like having any amount of children is any amount of kids that you have is hard. It's just they're because yeah, like it's almost like harder for you because there are no like you're the parents and also the siblings and like you're everything. Like you're and like there
Yeah, if he
is
needs attention, it has to be from me and
it
Hannah, but
correct.
also we don't have three other children to look after like
Well,
you
we
and Rachel
don't,
do.
but
So
also like it is funny, like, oh well like that was, by the way, that's a scam. Whoever is listening, it's a scam because they never play with each other, not nicely. It's and like there are just very like they were like it's such a rare thing for like them to play nicely. There was, I don't know if I sent it to you, but like when Dwight is doing the peanut butter in Michael's hair because he like found a quarter and he got
yes.
like gum is stuck in his hair and like the mom like walks in. It's like when you see your kids doing something so horrendous, but like they're playing nice. It's like, well, I don't want to say anything because like I don't even care. Like just do that. Just be nice. I'm not. And then they start like licking the
Yeah,
peanut
you're
butter.
not
She's like,
fighting right now.
okay, okay. Like I need to stop this because you're like licking the peanut butter off. But like it's like yeah, like any moment of like, oh my god, they're not hitting each other or yelling or you know, I'll let you do whatever. Like they could get away with so much stuff if they just didn't yell at each other. So, kids, if you're listening, just you can have free reign. Just just keep the volume at like it's like
Yeah, do
it,
whatever you want. Just be quiet about it.
yes, it's like you're playing Kent State. You're not playing Texas or Alabama. Like keep those decibels just low, 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 low. Like leave at halftime. Just quiet, empty stadium. That's what we want. That's all we're going for.
I
Okay, so
love that.
what is on your notes? What notes did you take? I know we talked about
Ah, yes,
attractive things
things I
that are
find attractive that are
yes,
not like sexual things.
yes.
When Hannah pours me a whiskey while I'm cooking,
Well, yeah,
amazing,
that's incredible.
tremendous.
Now, is it a
And also,
holiday
she
pour
doesn't,
or is it a
yeah, she doesn't understand the amounts, so I get, this
just obliterated at?
just right here.
Well, yeah,
It'll
that's
be three-quarters the way full. She's like, "Is that
love
good?"
that.
I'm like,
Yes,
"That's amazing."
absolutely.
Yeah, dinner's gonna
Have
be a
you
little funky, but
have you ever said like, oh, if you could like that's too much, like pour some out. Just not gonna. No way I could
only
possibly.
once when I was, well, not poured out, but like I did have to tell her to stop a pour one time just because it was near the end of a bottle that I really liked.
Yeah,
And I was like, "Oh no, I wanted this to last a couple of different days, so we're gonna do it all right now."
right.
The other thing that she does is just with the ADHD, she has a hard time finishing like projects.
Mm,
And so like she'll start a bunch of different ones.
hmm
And so it's when she finishes one, she just gets such a pride and accomplishment, and just seeing that on her face is
that's
just
so good.
awesome and great.
So sweet. Yes, that's amazing. One thing I just thought of because I didn't come prepared because I'm dumb.
Mm,
I'm a stupid person.
bad co-host. Bad
A bad
host.
co-host. When Rachel cuts strawberries, because I don't like to cut strawberries because it's like so much thing you gotta like do that. It's like a whole thing and cut them all up and like she puts it like when she like if we get strawberries, I usually like just cut them as I need them because like I'm like I don't want to cut like 35 strawberries right now. I just need like 4 or 5 for whatever for the kids' snacks or lunches or whatever. And like sometimes she'll cut up all the strawberries and put them in a thing. And I'm like, oh my God, like I can just reach in and grab the strawberries and like I don't have to cut them. It's wonderful. It's it sends me over the moon. I love her strawberry cutting. And I've told her this many times and she's like, you're so weird. Stop. I'm like, I'm not going to. Please keep cutting the
That
strawberries.
is the most non-sexual thing to find attractive. I love that.
Well, that's the episode title. We're having like 6 episode titles in this. I'm stupid and she gets good at cutting strawberries.
No, and Hannah like laughing when me and
Mm,
Silas like accidentally like vocal stem sync together is a thing because me and him both have vocal stems where I've got like sounds in my head that I've heard, and so if something reminds me of that, like
hmm
it's gotta come out.
hmm
And Silas has that same thing. And okay, there's this TikTok guy, and he's an
Yes.
Asian guy. If you know who he is, put him in the comments because I don't remember
Yes.
who he is.
Okay.
But he doesn't actually have like a typical Asian accent,
Yeah.
but he sings songs in one, and it's hilarious. But like Silas said, like he said like hello to something, and this guy he was singing Adele's song Hello, but he did like hello. it's a me. And please don't cancel me. I love Asian
Right?
people.
Yes. Shout
But
out.
that's what he did it. So Silas said hello, and so I said, it's a me. And then Silas said, a Mario. And then we just kept going off of each other for like 10 minutes until Hannah had to bring us back to reality because we had forgot what we were doing.
I love that. She just had to keep you grounded. Like, all right, that was fun.
Because we didn't know where we were anymore. It was just me and him. We're
Yeah,
just doing little
but
stuff
that's
back and forth, and Hannah just has to deal with that.
but that's so lovely because it's like you got lost in each other, and I think that's a wonderful thing. That's wonderful. Just means you're a good dad, and there's not a lot of those around. So shout out you, which is a thing.
And then obviously when Hannah's hanging things on the wall around here, because as you
Mm,
can see, we've got a lot of stuff
beautiful.
everywhere.
Hmm.
That's super sexy when she's just up on a little step ladder, like hanging some stuff. Then I've
Yes.
got to go get a little, got to go cop a feel every now and then.
Well, yeah, you got to do that. That's how you keep the the relationship alive after so many years. How many years are you? We're at, oh, because Rachel's like, oh, what are we gonna do for our 15-year anniversary, which is next year, which
That's
is in
crazy.
that's crazy. That's a crazy thing. And shout out Rachel. She I don't know what she saw in me because I was not what I am today.
Oh, I see it.
Well, I don't know if you saw it when we first met. I think at Mama's house out there on the farm, because
Well, you had really like loose fitting jeans
just the
and
loosest
short
fitting
hair.
jeans, just short hair. I had a lot of different perspectives on life and having fun as a human adult. So I don't know what she saw something like just deep inside. Just they're like, it's going to be a tough
I can fix
project.
him.
I can fix. She did. So thank you, babe, for fixing me. You're amazing. But yes, I don't know what she saw, but I am glad that she saw it because looking back, I'm like, I don't. That was rough. That was real rough.
Just
So
imagine how Republican you would still be.
I know, I know. It's it's wild. It's a wild journey. It's a wild journey, and I think this has been just the best journey of a podcast episode, and I've had so much fun doing it, and I hope you have had fun doing it, and I hope you and the audiences have fun listening because it's a hell of a show to put on, and I love doing it. So thank you to everyone involved in
Like
this
and
production.
subscribe.
Like and subscribe. So cheers. I don't know if you have anything left, but I will
That
cheers
touch.
a touch. So a touch of the tism to you. I love you so much, and happy
Love
6-7
you.
day to all those who celebrate. So
Indeed.
a scene.
Scene.
Thank you very much. Like and subscribe.